Now let's get on with the details now. Suspended Wa Polytechnic Rector Professor Emmanuel Usu is blaming the Education Minister Matthew Opoku-Prempeh of masterminding a decision for the Governing Council to suspend him. There was chaos yesterday at the Wa Polytechnic campus when lecturers chased the rector out of the school for breaching procurement laws to produce a Mercedes or to procure a Mercedes-Benz worth $500,000 cedis. Here's how it went down yesterday on the WA campus.
Make no mistake, this is not Mercedes-Benz in a Formula One race, but rather the suspended rector of the WA Polytechnic, Professor Emmanuel Mafo, meandering his way out of storms used to block him from entering his office by lecturers of the WA Polytechnic. Professor Emmanuel Mafo returned to the Polytechnic for the first time following his suspension by the Governing Council of the WA Polytechnic last Thursday, after members of the various labor unions accused him of willful breaching procurement procedures and abuse of office. He told JoyNews in an exclusive interview that he went to the Polytechnic after filing a writ praying to the WA court to overturn his suspension.
After parking there for some few minutes, all I realized was some people trying to put a lot of blocks behind my saloon car, that is the Mercedes-Benz 2017 model. And I could see that it was really bad, about 100 of them. And the leader was this Ahmed Mubashi, who has been destroying me in respect to defaming me. He wasn't the only person. I saw even the driver called Frank, who drives the registrar. And another person who had said that I had not promoted him because I had not got enough time to look at his documents. And a whole lot of them. When I saw them, I was shocked. About 100 of them with logs, wood logs, and then sticks and stones ready to attack me. I was shocked. In the initial time, when I tried to reverse back, thank God, the car was able to climb the blocks. And then trying to go forward, I saw electrical pole, very big one. And I could not see how the car could climb it, but thank God, I came back a bit and then moved fast, and the car was able to make it.
Chairman of the Coalition of Labor Unions at the WA Polytechnic, Bami Mubasir, however, disagreed with the suspended rector, saying that they only blocked the roads because of the manner he was driving at the campus.
Came with at some excruciating speed, entered, took his right-hand side and went to a library block to some top speed. The speed made most of us so worried that we had no other option, but we had to mobilize and said, no, you don't drive this way on our campus. So for that matter, we needed to block the road to reduce the speed. So we put some blocks on the road and we went in. Later on came out, there was an electric pole, very electric pole, that was used in blocking the road. But he used the Benz car to climb that pole, came down with
directive of the Governing Council. They expected him to park the Mercedes-Benz. He said per the directive of the Governing Council, they expected him to park the Mercedes-Benz 2017 C200 model, which is the bone of contention.
He didn't get council approval when he procured the car, which is not allowed. Polytechnic Act is straightforward. Polytechnic Act 745 says that all resources of the institution belong to the Polytechnic. Yes, assets or financial. So if you go ahead and then you go and procure something, you're always supposed to present budgetary estimate to council for council to approve for you to spend. So if you haven't done that and you go ahead and procure, now it's not acceptable.
Professor Mafo, however, said he did no wrong in procuring the luxurious car.
The right processes was followed. And processes were followed, and there's nothing like, we just got up and then purchased it through the wrong means. No, or the wrong processes.
Chairman of the Governing Council of the WA Polytechnic, Professor Daniel Berger, expressed worry over the new development at the Polytechnic.
We have come a long way in the sense that, some of these court cases, culminated in the dissolution of council, the previous council, the establishment of the interim management committee, which brought the rector and other professors into office. And so when we were inaugurated in September last year, I thought that our major decision we are going to bring all the factions together. It appears like we are not really making any headway.
We can probably expect a showdown between the suspended rector and the lecturers now that the former has threatened fire and brimstone to report at work on Tuesday. Reporting for JoyNews, Rafiq Salam.
Rafiq Salam filed that report. Now let's go on the telephone now and get some more details from him. Hello, Rafiq.
Hello.
Rafiq, can you tell us, paint to us the picture of what's happening on the campus as we speak? What's the mood now?
I can report to you that CAM has returned to the work for technique following yesterday ramps at the school. Lecturers and also staff at the polytechnic have resumed work, and then they are going about their normal duties there. What I haven't seen since I went to the school, I've been there for the past couple of hours. I haven't seen the rector around, and I also visited his house. He was also nowhere to be found because his house is about 200 meters away from my office, and so he's neither in the house, neither is he at the school. And so the officers, or should I say the staff of the school, were saying that they were not expecting him, but they wouldn't be surprised if he makes a turn up at the school.
You were saying in the reports that he has promised to fight back. Does he give you details of exactly what he wants to do by way of fighting back?
He said he has filed a writ at the High Court challenging his suspension. For him, he's saying that he is thinking that the Governing Council of the World Polytechnic, led by Professor Baga, has no locus to suspend him. And also, remember, it's a 3-member committee that has been set up by the Governing Council to look into the petition sent by the labor unions of the World Polytechnic, which has to deal with a whole lot of things, including the breach of the procurement procedures, allegedly procuring that Mercedes-Benz that cost over 500,000 Ghana cedis. And so the committee has 2 weeks to finish the report, according to the chairman of the Governing Council. But he is saying that he's going to fight his suspension at the law court, and already, or yesterday, he filed a writ at the High Court, and the case, I'm not sure about the date, but it's scheduled to be heard in the next 2 weeks.
Rafiq, let me also find out from you. You did speak with the council members, I think the council chairman as well, and he is obviously not happy about what's happening. But what does he say as far as the rector's position that he lacks the locus to suspend him?
When I spoke to him, he said that he was also going to consult his lawyers on the issue because he is not a lawyer, and so the council was going to give the writ. The summons are filed by the embattled rector, so that they will look into those issues, and then after that, then he can then talk to the media on it. But generally, he said that he's really worried about what has happened. The World Polytechnic for the past 4 or 5 years things have not been well at the Polytechnic. Remember, it started about 4 or 5 years ago when the former rector, Professor Gordon Afloki, was there. It ended at the law court until he was out. And now there is a new rector that was inducted just on the 24th of March 2018, about 3 weeks ago, and he only stayed in the office for only 2 weeks, and only for him to be suspended by the Governing Council of the Polytechnic. Remember, I did report to you also that when he was being inducted, that was the time that the labor unions of the World Polytechnic petitioned the Governing Council, and that they want to investigate issues of procurement fraud allegedly by the embattled rector, and so. But the Governing Council went ahead to induct him into office. And so during the induction ceremony, the lecturers stayed away. They went and stood under trees while the induction ceremony.
And Rafiq, I remember that story very vividly. But the accusations that they made at the time, is it in any way connected to the purchase of this particular car?
Yes. The car was started because that is the bone of contention. Okay. Because the number one, they have got about 10 certain, what do you call it, strong, things that they think that
they think that the rector has bought and breached procurement processes to buy.
Yes, because there are on that letter that they wrote to the council, but the council are then there was a meeting that was held, and then the council pleaded with them that they should allow the induction to go on.
Okay.
So that they will move into the case, because the council also told them that they were going to form a committee to look into the petition. So the induction ceremony went on, but the lecturer said that we are not going to be part of it. Initially, the lecturers wanted to come to court and put an injunction on the induction ceremony, but they said okay. They had a second thought, and that second thought was that they will stay away from the induction ceremony. They will not be part of that induction ceremony.
Very well. Rafik, hold on for me. We'll engage you as well. We know that the president is also in WA. We'll engage you briefly on what the president is doing. But let's hear from the rector again. He's been accusing the education minister, Matthew Opoku Prempeh, of abuse of office. And basically, he's saying that he's masterminding his misfortune. Let's hear from the rector now. When we return, I'll engage Rafik a bit more.
I'm not happy with the Minister of Education in his conduct, because in the first place, if somebody is sick, you don't expect him to walk in there as a dead person. I mean, a walking dead person. It is not good. You should be a bit patient. And when he said that he would take his decision anyway, I look at it as being bossy over me. There's no need to be bossy. We are all professionals. He should look at it that at least the few minutes that he could have given me to be able to appear the following week, it will have yielded better results. You don't take a decision when you have not heard about, from the other side. It is wrong, because even in court, they need to look at the other person and then see, listen to what he will say. But you taking a decision, it tells me that because you are in such a position, you think you can do whatever you want. It is very, very vital for him to see that if you are working at Polytechnic, it doesn't mean you are a second-class education or a scholar. No. I came from a background of the traditional university. I was teaching at University of Cape Coast before moving to University of Energy. And before that, I would work in University of Tokyo. And so the idea of just maybe getting an appointment in WA Polytechnic, he should not look at me as if, excuse me to say, WA Polytechnic is a second-class institution. No. It is also a tertiary institution. And as such, you should give respect to those in the technical universities and those in the polytechnics, because they are all scholars. Or we were all trained in reputable universities. And so just getting up one day and telling me you're suspended because I was sick and I could not come does not really give you the power to say that I've suspended you. It is not done that way. It will rather disturb the party, that they do not consider listening to people. You should do his best to promote the party, so that at the end of the day, Nana Akufo-Addo, the president Nana Akufo-Addo, can see his vision fulfilled. It is very, very necessary.
That is the embattled rector there, very angry with the education minister, Matthew Opoku Prempeh. I do have Rafik on the line, but also joining me on the phone is the chairman of the WA Polytechnic Governing Council, Professor Daniel Baga. Professor, thank you so much for your time this afternoon. You've heard what the rector is saying. He feels that he's been dealt with unjustly. He feels that there should have been some time for him to answer questions that you had before taking the decision to suspend him. Why was that not done?
Yes, thank you very much, and good afternoon to listeners. Having listened to him briefly, I think that he's misdirecting his fires. We, as a council, of which he's a member, on the 23rd of March this year, received 2 petitions from the coalition of union leaders in the WA Polytechnic. One of them was requesting us to suspend his induction into office. And then the other was requesting for his immediate removal. And we thought that it wouldn't be proper to accept the terms given to us by the unions. first of all, with the investiture, we said no. We were supposed to have done the investiture in December. But because of obvious reasons, it had to be postponed to March this year. So all preparations for the investiture had been done, and we're just having it the following day. Besides, we're going to have it together with the congregation, graduation of 2016-2017 year groups. So we thought that their petition or their request had come rather a bit too late. Then we tried to find out, why are you saying he should be removed from office? Then they gave us about, I think, 17 points in their petition. We pleaded with them and said that they should allow us to go. Pardon me? Hello?
Yes, please go ahead. I'm listening to you. So you're basically telling us what happened prior to the induction ceremony and how you tried to solve the problem then. Obviously, the problem wasn't solved, and now it looks like it's becoming even bigger. You indicated at the beginning of your submission that the rector is misdirecting his fight. What exactly do you mean by that, sir?
Yeah, well, I heard it. So what I'm just trying to give you is the background.
Okay.
And
because we don't have a lot of time, if you could make it brief for us.
Okay, all right, okay. Thank you very much.
Right.
So the issue is that we pleaded with the union leadership, to allow the two functions of the Polytechnic to go through, and then we would look into their request. So at the council meeting on the 23rd of March, we agreed that we're going to institute a committee, an independent body, to go into the allegations level against the rector.
Okay.
They also demanded that he should be removed, he should be asked to set aside while the investigation. We said no, we could not do that because these were just allegations, so we should allow the independent body to start. And if he was obstructing anything, then we will ask him to sit down and give them the free will to do their work.
Okay.
Now, unfortunately, when I wrote to him, giving him the action points of council meeting that particular day, there were some issues he disagreed with. And instead of sitting with us probably to discuss or his opinion and what have you, he sent the case to court.
Okay, so the rector has a case impending at the courts against the school or against the council of the school?
Against me as a chairman and also against the council.
Is that why he's been suspended?
No, that's not why he's suspended. So the issue is now this. When the case went to court, I also have senior people along the structure. So I tried to find out. I said, this is what we did and this is what the guy has done. So what do I do? Where is my way forward? So I discussed with the NCT Executive Secretary. So I believe that in the course of this, I never discussed with even the minister, but I believe somehow they got wind of it. I invited all the council members to Accra. So when they invited us to Accra on Wednesday, he didn't show up. Meanwhile, when he had sent us to court, I also asked the other members their opinions, and we said that on Friday, since he sent us to court, we should meet as a council and then also see the way forward.
Okay, it looks a bit. The issues look a bit checkered. Let's try and streamline it a little bit. But like I said, we don't have a lot of time. What is his fate at the moment? He's been suspended. He's unhappy with the education minister. He thinks that the education minister is masterminding this, using you, the council, to mastermind this. What is his fate?
And I'm saying that is not true.
Okay.
Because we had, as a council, agreed that we'll meet on Friday.
Okay.
And then before our meeting, the minister invited us to Accra on Wednesday. So we thought that since the members were already in Accra, we should just hold our emergency meeting in Accra there. So we held our emergency meeting in Accra. And based on what he was doing, we decided that, all right, then we should suspend him. So it was a unanimous decision.
So, but you did not listen to his side of the story. You suspended him at that meeting. That he was not called to the meeting, but then he was suspended.
He was called to the meeting. He refused to come. Or he
said he wasn't well. He said he wasn't well.
Yeah, pardon me?
He said he was not well.
He said he wasn't well?
Yes.
He wasn't well, yes. He told me he wasn't well, but he was in Kumasi. And the day we were leaving for Accra, he was in Wa. Are you getting the point?
So what's the way forward? What's going to happen from now?
Well, the way forward is that the thing has become a legal issue, so it's between the council and then the rector. And so we have left it like that. It is with our legal people.
Okay, so as we speak, he's on suspension. He's not supposed to come to school. I think he said that he's going to come to school anyway.
Yes, it is too, and we have no problem if he's coming back. It's his decision because he has always decided either not to do whatever we ask him to do, or, I mean, he does anything that he wants to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Professor Abaga, thank you so much for your time. He's the chairman of the council, of the Wa Polytechnic Council there, responding to some of the allegations, if you like, that the rector has raised. Rafiq is still on the line. Let me wrap up with Rafiq. Hello, Rafiq. Let's focus on the president's presence in Wa. What is he doing and how far has he come with what he was there for?
The president this morning arrived in Wa to take part in the federal activities of the mother of the chairman of the MPP, Alhaji Abdul Rahman Abu Bakar Short. He lost their mother, I think about close to 3 weeks, close to 2 weeks ago. And so today was Adua. And so the president saying that Alhaji Abdul Rahman Short is his very good friend, and that's why he's coming for the funeral. And also, he also added that the brother of the deceased, Alhaji Conlison, owner of Upland Hotel, is also his very good friend for over 20 years, and that's the reason why he came for the funeral. So he says that in terms of when people are grieved, that's the time that you show, and that is the reason why
he's in Wa, right?
And then condole with him.
Rafiq, thank you so much. We'll expect a report pretty soon on that. Rafiq Salam there, reporting from Wa.